Top of the evening, people. I got a good story for y'all. My nose gonna be running a little bit because I just had 2 cans of sardines inside hot sauce. And I just had a protein shake too. So my nose gonna be running a little bit because that shit is hot. But anyway, I want to tell y'all a story of Cheif Crowfoot. That's his real name. Like, don't laugh. Like, that's his name. So Cheif Crowfoot was born in 1830. And he died April 25th, 1890. Cheif Crowfoot was the chief of the Sika tribe. I don't know if a lot of y'all study Indian, Native American, indigenous history. I know, there's a lot of people out there that study comedic science and people study African history. There's a lot of foundational indigenous black Americans that study Egyptology and they study African history. But nobody's tapping into the Native American history, which is our history too. Those that know. Excuse me, people. I'm sorry about that. I apologize. That shit is hot. So anyway, I'm not gonna go into the beginning or whatever, but he was the chief of the Sika nation, and his father was Astawun al-Pata, packs of knives. That's what that means. And his mother name was Askap Sapi, and that mean attack towards home. So, Indians had names like this, Great Cloud, and you got Chief Red Cloud, that's a real chief, and different names like that, based on their activity or their situation or who they was as a person. But anyway, Crowfoot stood and watched as a white man scattered many dollars on the floor. This is what the white man trades in. This is his buffalo. This is his buffalo robe. As you trade pelts, we trade in these scraps of paper. Let's stop right there. So when the Europeans came to America, they thought the Indians was dumb. They thought all the Indians was dumb. All the Native Americans didn't get along. All the indigenous Indians didn't get along. You have different tribes and confederacies and different lodges. How you got Masonic lodges, you have different lodges, different divisions, different branches, different allies, and stuff like that. Like the Cherokee Indians was a nation. It was many tribes under the Cherokee Indians. And same thing with the Sayak tribe and many other tribes. So just bear with me. So the white dude think the Indian is done. He's trying to give him money in exchange for furs. The Indians was heavy in the fur business. They sold pelts. They sold all different types of animals, buffalo skin and stuff like that. The European men came, certain tribes taught them how to hunt and stuff like that too. And then they seen that there was wealth within hunting for buffalo skin and furs and stuff like that. And mind you, these is thieves, these is rapists, these is pedophiles. These is the foulest people of Europe that the queen kicked out and was like, get the fuck out of here. So, they come here with the grimy ways too. So now they trying to bamboozle the Indians. Crowfoot stood and watched as the white man scattered many dollar bills on the floor. This is what the white man trades in. This is his buffalo robe. As you trade pelts, we trade in these scraps of paper. When the white chief put all his money on the ground and showed how much he would give if the Indians would sign a treaty, Crowfoot took a handful of clay, made a ball out of it, and set it on fire. He took a handful of clay, boiled it up, and then set it on fire. He didn't break. So he said to the white man, now put your money on fire on the fire and see if it lasts as long as the clay. The white man said, no, my money will burn because it's made of paper. With an amused gleam in his eyes, the old Cheif Crowfoot said, oh, your money isn't as good as our land. Your money isn't as good as our land is it? Asked them that question. The wind will blow, the fire will burn it. The water will rot it. But nothing will destroy our land. You don't make a very good trade, pale man. This is what Crowfoot telling him. You don't make a good trade. Your paper, that shit burn up. The wind will blow it, water will wet it up, sog it up. This land is different. Then, with a smile, Crowfoot took a handful of sand from the riverbank, handed it to the white man and said, "You count the grains of sand in it while I count the money you give for this land." The white man said, "I wouldn't live long enough to count this, but you can count the money in a few minutes." "Very well said," the wise Crowfoot told the white man. "Very well said. Our land is more valuable than your money. Our land is more valuable than your fucking money. Our land will last forever. The money won't last at all. It lasts for minutes." The Indian chief, Crowfoot, is smart. He's telling them this. Count these grains of sand. He like, no, it'll take forever to count these grains of sand, but my money, you can count it in a few minutes. Yeah, nigga, because your money ain't shit. Watch this. "Very well said. Very well," said the wise Crowfoot. "Our land is more valuable than your money. It will last forever. It will not perish as long as the sun shines, the water flows, and throughout all the years. It will give life to men and animals. So we cannot sell the land. We cannot sell this land. It's more valuable. It was placed there by the great spirits. And we can't sell it because it doesn't really belong to us." This is what the wise chief is telling the white man, the colonizer. "I can't sell you this land. It was given to us by the great spirit. We inherited this land. And it ain't really ours to give. It was placed there by the great spirit, and we can't sell it because it don't really belong to us." Right? "You can count your money and burn it with a nod of a buffalo's head, but only the great spirit can count the grains of sand and blades of grass on these plains. As a gift, we'll give you anything you can take with you, but we can't give you the land." Crowfoot was a warrior who fought many wars, as 19 battles, and he sustained many injuries. But he tried to obtain peace instead of warfare. Crowfoot is well known for his involvement in the Treaty Number 7 and did much negotiating for his people. While many believe Chief Crowfoot had no part in the Northwest Rebellion, he did in fact participate to an extent due to his son's connection to the conflict. Crowfoot died of tuberculosis. He died of tuberculosis. They call it crossing over, the crossover. When you die, they call it crossing over. 800 of his tribe members attended his funeral, along with government dignitaries, Indian government, indigenous government dignitaries. Right? But I say this to say what? This was a brief story on Chief Crowfoot. Crowfoot knew they was trying to bamboozle him, right? And this applied to this day, right? Africa has gold, diamonds, minerals, resources. The black indigenous and the black natives here, we had gold, oil, resources, right? You got people that sell their soul for paper. Paper really has no value. The American dollar really has no value. They told you it has value because they didn't have nothing. If I got all the gold, if I got all the diamonds, if I got all the oil, I got all the resources, me. The Africans or the Indians, because both had the same things in two different worlds, two different parts of the land. I got all the resources. These dirty bum niggas come from Europe, rapists, thieves, dirty niggas. They say, yo, these niggas is rich. They got all the valuables. We don't have nothing. We gotta trick them. We're gonna make this mean something. Tissue, this fucking paper. We're gonna make this mean something, and we're gonna give them this for all of this. Shaka knew better, Shaka Zulu knew better, in Africa, way in Africa, and Cheif Crowfoot knew better in North America, right? And then there was many other chiefs who knew better in African tribes and inside Indian tribes. Then you always got other Indian tribes and other African tribes who teamed up with the colonizers in exchange for this bullshit paper. I'd agreed. But these was the people that was not recognized by the real ballers, by the Indian tribes and the African tribes who really had the resources. The bum-ass niggas teamed up with the colonizers and betrayed the other ones, but they didn't see the overall bigger picture, right? But I say this to say what, people? They tell you paper currency had value. Now they want to go to digital currency, which is really no money. It's just them playing with numbers. It's because it's some computerized shit. It ain't gonna even be attainable. They just gonna say, yo, you work this amount of hours, honey. This is how much you paid. This is how much money you got, right? So it's digital. It's like a clock. You know, we could reset our clock. We could turn it to 9:50. It don't even got to be 9:50. We could turn it to 12 o'clock. They could just play with numbers. But they're going to get all our resources. They already got most of our resources. They got our oil. They got our gold. They got our diamonds. Then I'm going to tell you the stupid, funny shit. They dig up all our resources while we die, kill, sell drugs. Excuse me, people. While we die, kill, sell drugs, and do evil. I'm sorry about that. I apologize, y'all. While we die, kill, sell drugs, and be evil for their resources, they kill our people. They kill our people for our resources. While we die and kill each other for their resources, which is just the bullshit paper. The banknote, right? The bond system, the barter system paper, right? We kill all our people. We go to war with each other. Rappers sell their soul to Satan and all type of stupid shit for this paper currency. When they get it, we buy back our gold and our resources that they stealing from our other brothers and sisters. We buy it back from them and give away all the paper money we done just killed, lied, scammed, and sold drugs for. Or rapped and sold our soul to Satan for. We give all the paper money back to them in exchange for stolen resources that they took from our other brothers and sisters. And then we die. Then they capitalize off our death because they got insurance out on most of these bozos. The little black boys in the street, they don't got insurance on them because they don't got no record deals or nothing. But what they do is this. Behind your family back without them knowing. Niggas will chop you open, take your kidney, bladder, and all that stupid shit, and all your organs, sew you back up and act like nothing ever happened. You know what I'm saying? Because they don't see, your family don't see you how the whole casket process be. They just see you in a suit, stiff. Your whole back can be sewed open. They take everything out through the back, re-sew your shit up through the spinal cord part. And now you laying on your back. Your family, y'all did a good job. Mind you, that's an empty body. They done took your son heart, kidneys, lungs. They done took all your family members' organs and sold out on the black market for more money. This shit is a bigger cycle, and Crowfoot knew that. The land belongs to us by right. Indians, black and foundational black indigenous, native Indian indigenous, and Africans. This land belongs to us. The Aborigines and all that. This is our land. And niggas is selling their soul for pieces of paper. Paper has no value, and then the American dollar is not even backed by gold. Gaddafi was the richest man in the world all the way up until they killed him. They don't tell y'all that. They just make y'all think Elon Musk was rich. Gaddafi had 200 billion, and he had 70 trillion in gold. Your man Obama and the Clintons knocked him off. And then they all split all his gold amongst the European nations. Stay up like a cup, I holler back on my collar crack. We get up like sit-ups, iron, I'm oxygen. Uno, if you knew better, you'd do better.